And we've got disturbing new details about the drug-related death of actor Matthew Perry. Prosecutors say he was having ketamine injected 6 to 8 times a day before his death. It comes after 5 suspects were charged in his death, including alleged drug dealer Jasmine Songa, known as the Ketamine Queen, and Dr. Salvador Plasencia. Both have pleaded not guilty. The other defendants pleading guilty. So for more on this, let's bring in criminal trial attorney Sarah Azari, my dear friend. I'm so glad to have you here in studio. So let's talk about this, because among the 5 charged, you've got some doctors. And what's crazy about this is that prosecutors say that Perry purchased 20 vials of ketamine 2 months for $55,000. So how significant is this to have a doctor charged?
Well, it's unfortunately very common and also very significant. These are people that were looking to take care of us, and instead they're preying on us, especially the addicts among us. There are these 2 doctors, one of whom was apparently falsifying DEA records and someone else's prescription to then supply the second doctor with the ketamine that eventually went to Perry. And so they're really not doctors or drug dealers in lab coats. I mean, that, you know, I represent some of the doctors in LA in this courthouse that end up before the court. But look, you know, what happens is with a Schedule III drug like ketamine, if the doctor is using it for medical purposes in a medical setting where there's life-saving equipment, that's totally fine.
Right, that's one thing.
Right, but these doctors are drug dealing, and that is why they're before the court. And this particular doctor is facing 20 years to life as a mandatory sentence. So this is very serious.
And one of the things that's so unbelievable is, I mean, you need a flow chart just for the 5 who are charged,
right,
but you're also talking about potentially this broad network of other folks who may be involved. So
correct,
we could see more charges with other people.
We can, absolutely, because in a conspiracy to distribute drugs, especially under federal law, the prosecutors work from bottom up, and everyone's flipping. Because of these mandatory minimum sentences, the exposure is so high. So you got to remember, those 3 people that you said pled guilty have pled guilty and cooperated, and now they're providing evidence against these 2. And so, look.
So you can only imagine that they may provide evidence for others, and it just goes on and on.
Absolutely, because in the parameters of this indictment, they are the targets, but they also have sources. So in order to save themselves, and trust me, they're going to want to save themselves, they're going to then, I expect that they will probably cooperate against their sources.
So prosecutors are alleging that they used encrypted text messaging, and that they also tried to delete some of these text messages when all of this went down, when Perry died, that they were caught on these text messages, allegedly. That could really have an impact on sentencing.
Yeah. Deleting is shady. Deleting is a cover-up, and it's consciousness of guilt. So not only it's going to matter at trial as to their guilt, because it shows knowledge that what they were doing was criminal, was wrong, but also it's sentencing if you looked at as an aggravating factor. So it's a big deal, not only that you committed the crime, but then that you took steps to cover it up.
All right, criminal trial attorney Sarah Azari.
So wonderful to see you.
So good to see you. You have a fantastic podcast as well, so make sure that you subscribe to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah.